Chapter 15. The Panic. Fear is not a cold feeling, it is hot. It pricks at the back of the neck and makes the palms sweat. For the rest of the morning, Elena Vance was burning up. She played the role of the devoted partner. She sat on the terrace and pretended to read. She laughed at Julian's dry observations about their competitors. She drank the iced tea he poured her. But every time he turned his back, her eyes darted to the exits. The estate was a masterpiece of security architecture. The cliff face was a sheer 100-foot drop to jagged rocks. The beach was inaccessible. The only way in or out was the winding driveway and the massive iron gates. She needed to leave. Now. At 2 p.m., Julian went to the basement gym for his afternoon sparring session with a heavy bag. The rhythmic thud-thud-thud of his punches echoed faintly through the ventilation ducts like a heartbeat. It was her window. Elena moved fast. She ran to the library. She pulled the iPad from behind the Great Gatsby. She slipped it into her leather tote bag, burying it beneath a scarf and her makeup case. She ran to the bedroom. She threw her clothes into her weekender bag. She didn't fold them. She just shoved. She changed into jeans and a sweater. She grabbed her car keys. She paused at the mirror. Her reflection looked frantic. Her pupils were dilated. She forced herself to breathe. In, out. She needed a lie. She grabbed a notepad and a pen from the nightstand. She scribbled a note. Julian, got a sudden migraine. The sea air is making it worse. I'm going to drive back to the city to see my specialist. I didn't want to disturb your workout. Call you when I get home. It was weak. It was cowardly, but it avoided a confrontation. She left the note on the kitchen island, weighted down by the bowl of perfect green apples. She walked to the elevator. She pressed the button for the garage. The doors opened. The garage was cool and smelled of gasoline and rubber. Her Aston Martin gift from the company, leased in her name sat next to Julian's vintage collection. She threw her bag in the passenger seat. She got in. She pressed the ignition. The engine roared to life, a beautiful, throaty growl. Elena reversed out of the spot. She drove up the ramp, her tires squealing slightly on the polished concrete. Sunlight hit the windshield. She was out. She drove down the winding driveway, the gravel crunching under her tires. She could see the gates ahead. They were black iron bars against the blue sky. Freedom. She pulled up to the keypad pillar. She rolled down the window. She punched in the code Julian had given her when they arrived. 1984. The light on the keypad blinked red. Access denied. Elena frowned. She typed it again. Slower. 1984. Access denied. Come on, she whispered, panic rising in her throat like bile. She tried Silas's birthday. She tried the date of the IPO. She tried 0000. Access denied. System lockout initiated. The gates remained stubbornly shut. They were 12 feet high, topped with spikes. There was no way to ram them. They were reinforced steel designed to stop a truck bomb. Elena slammed her hand against the steering wheel. Damn it! She put the car in reverse. Maybe there was a manual override in the gatehouse, but the gatehouse was locked, empty. She looked in the rearview mirror. Her blood ran cold. Standing at the top of the driveway, silhouetted against the sun, was a figure, Julian. He was still in his workout gear, boxing shorts and a tank top. His hands were wrapped in white tape. He wasn't moving. He was just watching her. He was 200 yards away, but she could feel his gaze. It was heavy. Elena stopped the car. She couldn't reverse all the way back up without him seeing her panic. She had to brazen it out. She rolled the window down further as he began to walk down the driveway. He walked slowly, casually, wiping sweat from his forehead with a towel. He reached the car. He leaned down, resting his taped hands on the window frame. He smelled of sweat and violence. Going somewhere? He asked. His voice was mild, curious. I left a note, Elena stammered. My migraine. It's blinding. I needed to get back to the city. The gate code didn't work? Julian asked. No, it kept flashing red. Ah, Julian said. I must have forgotten to tell you. The system resets every 24 hours for security. The new code is auto-generated. Can you give it to me? Elena asked, gripping the steering wheel so hard her knuckles were white. I really need to see my doctor. Julian looked at her. He looked at the bag on the passenger seat. Then he looked back at her eyes. You look pale, he observed. You shouldn't be driving in this condition. It's unsafe. I'm fine to drive, Elena insisted. I just need the code, Julian. I can't let you leave, Elena, he said softly. The air left the car. What? Not when you're sick, Julian continued, his tone solicitous, maddeningly reasonable. I'd never forgive myself if you crashed. Come back inside. I have sumatriptan in the bathroom. I'll make you tea. You can lie down in the dark. He reached through the open window. For a second, Elena thought he was going to grab her throat. She flinched. Julian's hand moved past her face. He turned off the ignition. He pulled the key out of the dashboard. Come on, he said, dangling the keys in front of her face. The city will still be there tomorrow. Elena stared at the keys. Then she looked at the gate. Then she looked at Julian's taped fists. She had lost. If she fought him now here on the gravel driveway with no witnesses, she wouldn't win. He was stronger, faster, and he had no conscience. She forced a weak smile. It felt like her face was cracking. You're right, she whispered. I'm probably not safe to drive. That's my girl, Julian said. He opened her door. Let's get you inside. He took her bag. The bag with the iPad hidden in it. He slung it over his shoulder. Elena got out of the car. Her legs felt like jelly. She walked back up the driveway toward the fortress, Julian walking a step behind her. She wasn't a guest anymore. She was a prisoner, and he knew.